hot, sugary, buttery Liege waffles, or like my daughter likes to call them, sugar waffles. These waffles are so fluffy and so light and chock full of Belgian pearl sugar, or sugar cubes if you want to cheat it, and just so full of flavor. This is a perfect brunch dish that goes with chicken and waffles, that goes with fresh fruit, or even cane syrup and powdered sugar. So stay with Kitchen Bravo, subscribe, and I'm going to show you exactly how to make this beautiful European style dish. To make Liege waffles, they're the beautiful, sugary, fluffy Belgian style waffles. It's actually really super simple. We're going to start with a 1/3 cup of warm water, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, and a tablespoon of active yeast. So I'm going to pour the water into the sugar and let it dissolve, just like that. I use a fork to mix it up a little bit. And now I'm going to sprinkle the yeast on top and give that a good little stir too. Perfect. Okay. So I want to let this sit for about 5 minutes and become really foamy and activate. So in the meantime, what I'm going to do is get 2 cups of flour in a large bowl, and I want to have, where's my salt? Oh, here's my salt. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of salt. And I really like the pink Himalayan salt because it kind of gives it like another depth of flavor. It's a very different kind of salt. It's not like the kosher salt or the sea salt. It's maybe a little bit sweeter, you know, for a salt. So I'm going to put 2 teaspoons worth in here. And I know it sounds like a lot, but you have to remember salt is like a flavor magnifier. I mean, these little crystals are like magnifying glasses for your taste buds. So I'm going to go ahead and give this a quick stir. Good. Okay, now this is all set. We're going to be back in 5 minutes after the yeast has started acting. Look at that. It's already starting to foam up. You see how it's getting really bubbly and foamy? So we're going to let that foam up even more, get even frothier, and then we're going to add it to our flour. So it's been 5 minutes, and look at how frothy and foamy our yeast mixture has gotten. It's a 1/3 cup of warm water, 2 tablespoons brown sugar, and a tablespoon of yeast. So what I want to do is make a well in the middle of my flour and salt here. 2 cups flour, 2 teaspoons salt. I make a well, and I just pour this in. Scrape it all in because I know the sugar settles at the bottom, and I want all the sweetness because it's, you know, it's a really good sweet Belgian waffle. As a matter of fact, my daughter calls them sugar waffles, so it's pretty cool. I want to start mixing this up just like this and get the yeast mixed in with the flour. It's going to become really shaggy here really quickly, which is great, which is exactly what we're looking for. So from here, I have 3 eggs, and I'm just going to crack them on the flat surface here, and I want to go ahead and mix it in. So for the 3 eggs that I'm going to mix in, I want to stir them in and add the eggs like 20 seconds apart. So I'm going to go ahead and keep adding in the eggs, stirring in between each addition. Okay, all 3 eggs have been mixed in, and I'm going to go ahead and put the bowl on my towel here because I need a little bit more stability. From here, I'm going to keep mixing just a little bit while I slowly pour in some butter infused with vanilla. So I have a cup of melted butter right here, and I'm just going to pour in about maybe a teaspoon of vanilla extract. There we go. I'm going to mix all that together. Perfect. All right, so from here, nice light drizzle while I mix up the dough. And I'll probably go ahead and just kind of stop a little bit in between pours because I want to make sure that it gets mixed in really well. And this is going to form a really loose dough. And that's great. It's perfect. It's exactly what you're looking for because the looser the dough, the more it'll spread in your waffle iron. Get rid of the spoon. I just go right for it. So I'm going to use my fingers, mix everything in, get that piece of brown sugar all in there, get it really well mixed. This is going to take about maybe 5 minutes of mixing to get this done. And of course, if you have a stand mixer, it's still going to take about 5 minutes because you want to make sure that the dough is really well mixed up, that all the ingredients are in, that every bite of the fluffy waffle is going to be just as sweet and delicious and buttery as the bite before. So whenever you're making things like chicken and waffles, this is a really great waffle recipe to use. It's hearty enough to stand up to the syrup and the crunch of the chicken. I mean, it's amazing. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and continue mixing this until it comes together, and then we have even more to add. Okay, 5 minutes of mixing and mashing and stirring this dough, and look how it all came together so beautifully. It's like really smooth and silky and buttery. It's awesome. I just love this dough. Okay, so now we're gonna do a little bit of anger management kind of therapy. We're gonna make Belgian like sugar crystals, okay? Now, this recipe usually calls for like Belgian pearl sugar, and you can make it and you can buy it, or you can take the easy way and do like me and cheat it. So what I like to do is take a Ziploc bag and put some sugar cubes in here. So I'm gonna put maybe half a cup of sugar cubes into this bag, just like this. And they like to get packed in there really, really well, super nicely. But when it comes to sugar cube security, they're like, it's no joke. There we go, that's better. Okay, so that's about half a cup of sugar cubes. And I want to get as much air out of it as possible, but also make the sugar cubes lay down like in a single layer. I'm gonna seal this up. Now, for the aggression part. Now for the fun part. Just start smashing it, turning it into little pearls of sugar. Whoop. Okay, didn't break my countertop. That's good, okay. Perfect, all right. So you see how I have these little, beautiful little pearls of sugar, and some of it kind of came into a powder. That's awesome, because what I don't want are like giant clumps of sugar, which is why we break it up. So this is gonna make like a really sweet, surprising sweet bite whenever you bite into the waffle. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour all of this in to the batter. Mix it up. Just kind of fold it in to get it really well incorporated. Super, super sweet and actually super easy. When you make this, your family and friends are gonna think that you went to a bakery, that there's no way that you did this. All right, sugar is all mixed up. So now I need to cover it with some plastic wrap, let it sit for 2 hours and let it rise. Now, if this is something that you want to do like the next day, this is a perfect recipe, because at this point you can cover it in plastic wrap and let it sit in your refrigerator overnight, and the dough will still rise and proof, and then you can make your waffles the following morning. So if you're planning something like a Sunday brunch or whatever, this is a perfect make-ahead recipe for waffles, if that's what you wanted to make. All right, so here we go. That's going away. Plastic wrap gonna cover it. They're just gonna sit for 2 hours, and then we're going to make some sweet, beautiful, fluffy Belgian sugar waffles, or Liege waffles. Okay. 2 hours is far too long to wait for something like this. Sugary and buttery and so fluffy and puffy. I can't wait to start digging into these things. All right, I have a waffle iron right here that's nice and hot. My plate is ready. I've got a little bit of melted butter. This is half a stick of butter that I've melted, and it's just enough to brush onto the waffle iron, and that way it's gonna go ahead and keep the batter coated, and it's gonna keep it from sticking. So I'm gonna open this guy up. I'm gonna brush just a little bit of butter, just a little bit, all over the bottom and all over the top as well. Okay, so for these Liege waffles, they're not very big. If you've seen true Belgian waffles, you know, at a restaurant, they're kind of small. They're not really super huge. So same thing goes for these guys. So I'm just gonna take a scoop of dough, maybe 2 tablespoons worth of dough like this. And I'm simply going to put it on my waffle iron just like this. Okay, I'm gonna close it up and let this cook for about 3 to 5 minutes, depending on when the indicator on your waffle iron says it's ready, or whenever you peek under the hood and it's nice and golden brown. So we're gonna give this a couple minutes and then we're gonna check on it. It's been about 2.5 minutes since we put our waffle in, so let's check on it. Heck, yay! Golden brown deliciousness. Now the darker parts of it are where the sugar actually caramelized and got seared and crispy, but look at this. Ooh, that is a perfect Liege waffle. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and make the rest of the batter, and you're gonna come back to see a nice big mountain of beautiful Belgian bliss. Okay, stick around. Are we good? All right, so look at all of these waffles. I mean, look at how dark and golden delicious they are. So as the waffles cool, the sugary outside is gonna harden a little bit more, so you're gonna get these awesome, beautiful, wonderful little nuggets right here, these little crispy bits of sugary goodness. So I'm gonna go ahead and put in the very last piece of the batter here. And like I said, 2 tablespoons of batter. That's all you need. So this doesn't look like very much, but it spreads out completely throughout the waffle iron. So in about 3 minutes, the last one will be done, and then we're gonna go ahead and top them up, and I'll show you how to dress your beautiful Belgian waffles. This waffle is coming out of the waffle iron. Look at that, how deeply golden it is. Look at that. It's just so sugary, buttery, awesome. That's what this is. So very carefully and very quickly, move it over to the plate. Look at these guys. Super fluffy and sugary Liege waffles. I mean, I'm gonna break off this little piece right here and you can just hear the crunch, listen. I don't know if you could hear that, but it's super crunchy because the sugar that was mixed into the batter, the parts that are closer to the surface, melt in with the butter that caramelized and give it just that extra layer of, I mean, it's just sublime is what it is. So with these waffles, you can go ahead and dress them up however you like, with cane syrup, with, you know, store syrup, with honey, however you want. I, on the other hand, kind of like mine dusted with powdered sugar. So, let me get some powdered sugar out of the cabinet and my little sifter right here. Take a nice warm waffle, put it on the plate. And you know what? Just because I can, I'm just gonna go ahead and go extra sweet because you know I love my cane syrup. So it doesn't take much, just a tiny little drizzle on my plate right here. Yeah, that's a little extra layer of sweetness I'm looking for. And I'm just gonna take a little scoop of powdered sugar. Look at that. There it is, Liege waffles, hot, buttery, sugary. These are perfect for breakfast, for brunch, for a snack. Super easy to make. You can even set the batter and let it rest overnight. So for more tips, for more recipes, for more awesome snacks like this, go to Kitchen Bravo. I'm just like hungry for this now. Leave me a comment below and let me know if there's anything that you'd like to see, any recipes that you're looking for, and we'll make them happen for you. So from Keisha here at Kitchen Bravo, enjoy.